Hi, this is Liam from Orange Brackets. Welcome to today's tutorial. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., Novatech unveils introducing our smartest device yet. After weeks of drafts, the writing still doesn't sound like Novatech. Some lines feel like legal memos, others like infomercials. Our goal today: craft one master launch email and two targeted variants that feel friendly, clear, and confident without pressure tactics. We'll pull the best lines from messy drafts, anchor to the brand voice guide, and tailor benefits and CTAs for each audience. By the end, you'll have a practical workflow that blends data and GenAI to ship on-voice copy fast. Let's get started. First up, let's set up our tools. We'll import Pandas, our go-to for working with tables of data. Now I'll set a file path to the brand voice guide CSV. Keeping it in one variable makes it easy to update later if the file moves. Using that path, we'll load the CSV into a data frame. This gives us an in-memory table we can filter, sort, and analyze. Quick check. Let's peek at the first few rows to confirm it loaded and see what columns we have. Don't worry if the fields look new. We'll use only what we need. Great. The brand voice guide is in. Think of this as our reference for what friendly, clear, confident looks like in real words and phrases, not just labels. Instead of telling the model, be friendly, we'll give concrete do phrases and examples. That reduces guesswork and keeps language consistent across the launch. Next, we'll scan the messy drafts. Even if most of a draft isn't right, there are usually bright spots we can reuse. First, we'll save the path to our email drafts CSV in a single variable, one place to change it if the file moves. Now we'll load that CSV into a data frame, so we have a clean table of drafts to work with. Let's preview the top rows to confirm it loaded and to see which columns hold subjects, openings, and other copy. Here are the drafts. They're all over the place, and that's okay. We're hunting for usable bits: a clean subject line, a warm opening, a crisp benefit. We'll grab those, trim the fluff, and feed the best lines into the model. To make this useful, we also need context about who we're writing for. Let's load the audience segment so we can tailor benefits and CTAs. We'll bring in Matplotlib's plotting tools. This is how we'll draw our chart. We'll import it as PLT. Next, I'll set a path to our segment's CSV file. Keeping the location in one variable makes updates easy. Let's load that CSV into a Pandas data frame so we have a clean table of segments to work with. Quick sanity check. Let's preview the first few rows to confirm it loaded and see what fields we have. Now we'll look at the distribution of risk levels by counting how many rows fall into each category. Great. Let's turn those counts into a bar chart and add a clear title so the story is easy to read. I'll tighten the layout so titles and labels don't get clipped at the edges. And finally, let's display the figure. There's our risk level breakdown. Nice. Now we can see each segment and its risk level. Risk helps us set tone. More care for newer or high-stakes audiences. To keep the scope manageable and the impact high, we'll focus on two groups: new prospects and enterprise leads. That gives us range, everyday clarity and enterprise trust, without diluting the voice. All right, time to set up our generation tools. Let's load .env to read secrets from a .m file, chat OpenAI from LangChain so we can talk to a chat model, and prompt template to format prompts cleanly. Now we'll initialize those settings. Calling load.env reads the .m file and loads our API keys into environment variables, so we don't hard code any secrets. With the environment ready, we'll craft a tight prompt. The plan: anchor everything to the brand voice guide, borrow only the best lines from drafts, and produce one master email plus two segment variants. Each needs a human-sounding subject line and an inviting call to action. No hype, no pressure, just clarity and confidence. Let's build a template string, the blueprint for our prompt. We set the role, feed in the brand guide and strong lines to borrow, and ask for one master email plus two segment-specific variants. See the curly brace slots? Brand guide, good lines, segments. We'll inject those at runtime. We also lock in tone rules and a clear output format with subject lines, bodies, and CTAs so the model knows exactly how to respond. Don't worry if templates feel abstract at first. We'll fill it right away. That closing parenthesis just wraps the multi-line text so Python treats it as a single string. Now we'll package everything into a prompt template. We declare which inputs it expects, brand guide, good lines, and segments, and point it to the template string we wrote. That keeps the prompt reusable and easy to fill on the fly. And we close the call. Our prompt object is ready. Next, we'll format it with real values and send it to the model. Before we generate, we'll compress our inputs. Smaller, cleaner inputs help the model focus. We'll turn the brand guide into short bullets with do phrases. Pull a short list of strong lines from the drafts and package 2 segment profiles with only what we need. In short, we're giving the model a sharp brief, not a wall of text. First, let's bring in the JSON library. We'll use it to serialize some data at the end. Now we'll build a brand guide string. Loop through the brand values table, format each row as a bullet, principal, the do phrase, and a quick note, and line them up with new lines. Close that join, and we've got one clean multi-line block we can drop into the prompt or a doc. From our drafts table, let's grab just what we need: the subject line, the opening, the email text, and the column of good bits. We'll flatten that into a simple one-dimensional list of values, easier to scan and pick from. Next, let's make a quick showcase. Keep only the text entries, take the first 10, and stitch them into a bulleted list. And done! A tidy, copy-ready snippet with 1 bullet per line. Now we'll filter our segments down to the audiences we care about, new prospects and enterprise leads. Finally, we'll convert those rows to a list of dictionaries and pretty print to JSON, ready for an API call or a config file. Awesome. We have our guide, our best lines, and our segments. Time to generate the master email and the 2 variants. Watch how the tone stays consistent while benefits and CTAs shift for each audience. First, we'll spin up our chat model, the brain of this workflow. I'm picking a balanced creativity level so responses stay clear but still have a little spark. Now we connect our prompt to that model as a simple pipeline. The prompt shapes the instructions, the model completes them, clean in, clean out. I'm preparing the call and passing in context, the brand guide for voice, a few strong example lines to set the bar, and the audience segments so the message is targeted. We close that payload and send it off, capturing the result in a response object. The chain formats everything and the model returns the draft. Let's preview the first couple thousand characters, just enough to check tone and content without flooding the terminal. Let's recap. We produced a master email that sounds unmistakably Novatech, plus 2 variants tuned to real pains and preferred CTAs. Guardrails cut jargon and avoid pressure. The business win: faster, on-voice copy that stays in sync with your press release, ads, and landing page. Marketing ships calmly. Leadership gets a clean launch story. Next steps: run quick A and B tests on subject lines. Sanity check with legal. And align the CTA with the landing page action. You're ready for launch day. I'm Liam from Orange Brackets. Great work today, and see you in the next build.